This video program contains terrible advice. Do not follow it.
Welcome to Slutty Penguins. I'm Z, and this is the very first episode of the Slutty Penguins video podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. It's the video version of Slutty Penguins. I thought for the very first episode we'd talk about something easy, something straightforward. I thought we'd talk about the least American fruit. The least American fruit, as any grade schooler knows, is the apple. The apple isn't from here. It's not from here, which is interesting because of some of the adages we have. Like the most common one is American as baseball, which isn't American, and apple pie. Pie is not American, and apples definitely aren't American. So how do we get this weird idea that somehow the apples were from America? Well, given enough time and control of history books, you can tweak just about anything. And before we go much further, I want to give a visual example of an apple. This is an apple. There are two varieties of apples. There are red apples, which I have here, and green apples. And those are the two apple varieties, red and green. And you'll notice I have this in a bag because apples are biohazards. You really shouldn't be consuming them. I guess they're less radioactive if you cook them in pies, but raw, it's a bad deal. Kind of like eating rhubarb. You're literally eating poison. Where did apples come from? Well, apples, as the letter A in the name should tell you, they come from Asia. They're not from here. They come from Asia. And a while ago, they're Asia-only fruit. They're small fruit, small tree. So how did they get here, and how did they get bigger? Well, they got here via the Patriarchy. The Patriarchy removed them from Asia as part of a cultural appropriation, brought them to the U.S., to America, tweaked a little bit of the genetic code. Here we call it hybridization. It's where you basically cross a couple of different varieties of a plant and get a new plant back out. It happens all the time in roses. And that's what they did with the apples. Increase the size, make them more colorful. It kind of backfired a little bit because we ended up with red and green, but they're bright. They're bright, so we'll take it. We've got bright red and bright green. And significantly bigger than they were, significantly sweeter than they are. Downside is because they were tweaked genetically, they've got some nasty side effects, like a low level of radiation, which is another reason why you shouldn't be eating apples. They are slightly radioactive. They will give you face cancer. As you're eating them, they'll give you cancer. It's not good. So you probably shouldn't eat them. Also, don't give the Patriarchy the satisfaction of knowing they've won by eating those apples. So that is the least American fruit, the apple. I was sort of I was going to say impressed to learn about these facts. I'm not impressed as much as I am sad because, I've eaten apples for years, so it's removed decades off my life. I would be shocked if I make it to 40 at this point with all of the fruits and vegetables I've consumed over my lifetime. Bad for you. You'd be better off drinking sugar pretty much nonstop. It'll give you an energy boost, keep you fueled. You're probably not going to die as quickly, or worse comes to worse, at the same rate, but at least you've had a lot of sugar. That's the short condensed story of the history of the apple.